What is up, guys? Zan here, sub tip number 10. Been getting a lot of feedback on this formation. Wanted to retouch on this formation. This tip is going to focus on a couple of topics. I want to make sure I'm bringing everybody up together on this. Obviously, if you guys have been subbed for a while, you guys have already seen the first near close flex video. If you guys are new subs, this is going to build off of that video as a base. So check the description because the link for the original sub tip, this is basically be a 2-for-1. We're going to build on that video similar to how we built on the bunch a couple weeks ago. And I gave away the old bunch video plus the new video in the same link. So today we're going to be talking about a variety of topics, kind of a refresher on rollout corners. Then I also want to make sure I'm pointing you guys to today's YouTube upload that everybody got to see on visual cues, because when you apply that actual visual cue to the sub tip coverage that I'm giving here today, you should be able to lock down this offense completely. So let's go ahead and get into the near close flex. For the sake of the video, I did a better job this time. I've changed the roster file. So I've got Lamar. I've got, let's see, I've got Kittle as well with tight end apprentice, so I can put him on routes. And then we obviously have the ability to have, a slot apprentice type setup as well. So we're going to go ahead and put Thielen in along with Hollywood Brown. And we're going to talk about, just kind of stopping this offense as a whole. I get so many questions about this and people that are frustrated with this formation and they struggle to stop it. And I mean, you guys know, you guys watch me all the time. Many of you guys watch me every single day. I just don't struggle with near close flex. Yes, I lose to it, maybe 1 out of every 10 or 11 games I face it. But if you run near close flex, it's pretty well bagged. And, if you add the QB pointing cues that I show you in the description, there's a video that I did on quarterback pointing. We'll talk about it here when we actually get on the practice turf. If you use that to figure out which side they're rolling out to, it makes stopping this all that easier. I mean, this is all stuff that I've been building on, the base of the coverage, the adjustments for the check down game, and then obviously applying the rollout side. If you just know who they're pointing at, that tells you which side they're rolling out to 9 out of 10 times. And that's going to allow you to do a number of things that are going to really, really, really mess them up. So we're going to pretend that the quarterback pointing animations are here in the video today. If you obviously practice mode has no animations, but the video that I shot for YouTube today does have those animations. So reference that if you need actual proof, but we're going to kind of talk about it here. So pinch dog 3, you're going to run this with the hook zone, the yellow zone to the side of the receivers. Typically speaking, receivers in this offense go to the wide side of the field. So that's how most people are going to run it. So let's go ahead and set up. We'll set up the fullback dive here. We've got, what else do people like to run? They like to run flanker drive. I know some people run that. They run Texas. Let me go ahead and throw Texas in the audibles. Let's go ahead and throw, what else? How about, trying to think here. Post drag is something a lot of players will run as well. We'll kind of go through as best as I can. Again, I don't run this formation, but I do lock it down. So let's go ahead and start, obviously, with the run defense. The run defense is very, very simple. You are going to call pinch dog 3 with the hook curl to the wide receiver side. Let me actually turn off my auto flip here because practice mode auto flips the defense. Go ahead and go back out. Let's go ahead and call a different play here. So that way the defense doesn't play on auto flip. So pinch dog 3, we're going up against the near close flex. Fullback dive. Okay, let me go ahead and put this ball on a hash mark. So we all know how this offense is run. It's run around the fullback dive up the middle. If you can stop that, then they have to play the rollout corner game. If you can't stop the fullback dive, it makes stopping this formation as a whole a lot easier. So here's what we do. Call the hook zone to the wide receiver side. You click onto him. You're going to move him as you break the huddle. So that way he does not move when you do this next adjustment. You're going to base align and press. If you do not move this safety, he will go all the way out over here. And that's trouble. You don't want that. You want him standing right here in the stock spot that he's in. And from there, you click onto this guy and you literally just move him down so he's standing right here. Just literally right here. So we just got a follower on the account. Thank you very much for the follow. So He stands literally right here. And what you're going to be able to do is you are now going to click back onto this guy. Now, you do want to have high acceleration play recognition at the 2 defensive end spots. So Brockers may not be the best guy for this. As you guys know, I use Peppers, and then I use Fred Warner or Keith Bullock, both of which have good play recognition, speed, acceleration, etc. for stopping the run. Because what you're doing is you're getting this guy to come into the backfield and make this play. So they snap this ball. You're either getting one D end or the other into the backfield. You're right there. You see how Aaron Donald just flies inside and makes that play. Now, let me go ahead and show you what baseline and pressing does without moving that strong safety. If you baseline and then you press, watch how that safety moves all the way out. Now you've got to move 2 guys, and you're spending more time pre-snap moving your safeties than you are actually getting the setup for the coverage. But again, as long as you stand in the right spot, you're going to be able to pretty well plug this. Now, right there, you also saw that I didn't leave him. I set it up in the wrong order. So make sure you just basically try to keep this positioning. Just kind of click onto him, baseline press, grab this guy as he walks down, and just keep moving him right there. Click off, and then I kind of stand right here, just kind of like inside shoulder of the defensive end. And again, this guy's kind of like a gap / inside shoulder of the defensive end as well. And you're just going to kind of fly down. You see how he makes that play in the backfield. So many players that reach out to me and say, I can't stop fullback dive. This is their issue. They are not paying close enough attention to where they are putting their safeties. If you put your safeties in the right spot, they will not screw up this defense. They will fly into the backfield. So again, inside shoulder / a gap, inside shoulder of the D end / a gap. They snap this ball. Here comes Aaron Donald straight in the backfield for a tackle for loss. It's that simple, guys. You guys run it enough. You pay close enough attention to detail. You get to the point where you can set this up pretty easily without actually having to really be too fine with it. Again, you see how it just automatically into the backfield. I'm not even like being precise, and it's like, okay, I've got to move him a micrometer, like it's nothing. It's just, hey, move this guy, base align press, grab him, pull him down, throw him in the A gap. That might be a little bit too close. If not, you just flinch him a little bit. And you see right here, again, we're just getting shoved into the backfield time and time and time and time and time again. I could do this for an hour. I think you guys trust it. We'll go ahead and do one more. You see how we just move him down, click off of him, kind of stand right here. Here comes Aaron Donald again, another time for a tackle for loss. Now, if they have Vic and they want to run it to the left, which this is not the case here, the other defensive end comes in. The opposite defensive end of the side that they're running to is typically the one that comes in. So you see right here in this example, try to show you the play art. It should be Brockers getting shoved into the backfield. And you see how we tried, but Brockers is a little bit too fat, doesn't have the acceleration, the play recognition that you want. So you really want good, athletic, fast pass rushers, if you can. The other thing that's a factor too is if they're running a right-handed quarterback dive left is a little bit wonky. But in general, this same setup should do a pretty darn good job. I mean, you see right there. Plus, the other thing is you get Clay Matthews off the edge too when they run it that way. So, the fullback dive is just not a problem, guys. It is really not a problem. If you get this setup down, you are not going to struggle with stopping that. I mean, it's every time you're going to be able to get that stop. Okay, so the fullback dive is dead. We get that. The fullback dive is dead. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the passing game. There are 2 main passes players are running out of near close flex right now. They are rollout right with a backside trail route or deep in route, and rollout left with a skinny post over the top. Those are the 2 route combinations that people are running right now. So let's go ahead and show them. First one. Let's go ahead and show you guys Texas. Texas is a play. What people will do is they'll put the guy on a trail route, the tight end on a trail route, and then they're going to streak A, and they're going to block their running backs, and they're going to set up their cut block. So you guys know how this goes. This is where I need you guys to watch the visual cues video. You will not see this in practice mode, but they're going to set up their protection. They're going to, set up their double team, and then they're going to set up their cut block. When they set up the cut block, the quarterback will point to the right or the left. You guys need to pay attention to that. If they point to the right, they're rolling out to the right. It's very simple. So you're not going to see it in practice mode. But right here, once I hit A, you will notice Lamar Jackson will put his right arm up, and he'll point to the outside linebacker on the right, telling you where they're rolling out to. So right here, boom, visual cue happens. Now, in your mind, you are thinking to yourself, hey, this is rollout to the right. Now, our coverage setup for this. All you have to do from a coverage setup standpoint is cross man the end on the trail route. This player right here, Brockers, this could be an outside backer, a 4-3 outside backer that's got some coverage skill. I use Keith Bullock. I use Fred Warner. They can cross-man the trail route. It doesn't matter if they have abilities. They will play this route really well. And then I like to spy this defensive end. Now, naturally, if I were running this, I would have pass rush elite on the outside or edge threat elite here. I would have edge threat elite here for Clay Matthews, and I would actually run Aaron Donald at nose tackle as the third rusher. All three guys have rush abilities, and your coverage is really spot on. So at this point, you know rollout is to the right. Very, very simple. So I can't roll out here, but you're going to see how this cut blocks. You see how it cuts them, and now they're rolling out to the right. Now look how that trail route got bagged by the cross man. Now again, Brockers is a big boy. He's not a coverage guy. But you see how that trail route does get beat over the middle. So imagine this. Lamar is not in the pocket. He's rolling out. You see how they cut block Clay? Now all of a sudden Lamar is out here, and he's looking for this route right here. Again, because we're in pinch dog 3, this baseline press outside third locks onto this man coverage. This is a click on. You click on when they let go of this ball, and you can click on and run down and pick this off. If you guys watch me, you see me do it all the time. Super, super easy. Easy pick off. Especially now that you know when the quarterback points that they're rolling out to the right, that's where you're going to be with your user too. So super easy. I mean, this is the easiest click on in the world. Easiest. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up that exact same play here on offense. So we go ahead and set up our defense, yada, yada. Oh, here's the other thing that's really great about this. If you set it up right, you can oftentimes get away with getting the run defense to work against the fullback dive, still doing these setups. You see how he still gets shoved into the backfield even though he's in a spy? So Aaron Donald, you can still run the coverage setup and stop the fullback dive pretty well with this setup. It's based off of where you put your user and where you put that other safety. So that's a really nice touch as well. But we go ahead and set this up. I'm going to go ahead and set up the crossman on the trail, and we spy Aaron Donald. Now I'm going to go ahead and on the offense, I'm going to control right here. But what I want you to kind of figure right here is with Johnson, what your job is to kind of get over the top, take away that seam, and then kind of loop back down and undercut the corner route as they roll out. So we'll show you that's the way you would cover the user on this play. So we audible into our pass play, trail route to the tight end, streak to A, block the running back, set up your cut block, double team here, and then when they go to ID, you're going to watch Lamar. He'll point. He points right there. That tells you, okay, cut block to the right. Now I am going to go ahead and control this. So I'm going to go ahead and click off here. We're going to get our cut block. Now we roll. Right here, if I throw that ball, that's a click-on pick by Jalen Ramsey. I'm telling you, it is. I can't click on because I can't use two controllers at the same time. You see how that gets stopped? That route is so bagged. It does not get open. This route is not open. Now, this route in the middle of the field, this route right here in the middle of the field, it will get covered. I'm assuming you guys don't have a guy that's as slow as Eric Weddle. Probably got Sean Taylor, Taylor Mays, somebody like Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, somebody like that, right? This route's fine. It's fine because you have to also figure we're not using this player. So right here with this user, you kind of like muddy up this area, just kind of stay over the top of both these receivers and wait for the guy to roll out. And then you're going to go and hopefully you've kind of messed up the slot receiver's release enough just by standing over him at the release that it allows this player to stay on top of that route. Again, Sean Taylor, Taylor Mays. If it's not Eric Weddle, who's slow as sin, you're fine right here. Completely fine because that's your middle third. And then with your user, you're going to get out here on this play. Now, again, right here, watch the rollout. At what point right here on the backside, you watch the trail route to Kittle, who's right here. Watch him. At what point is this route ever open? He runs the trail. Now he's cutting back over the middle. Look how that crossman is bagging that trail route. And that's Brockers. That's a fat guy. That's not a guy who's, Fred Warner, 92, 93 speed. And you have a spy on the play as well. So to help, you can click that spy and send him. Now, here's another thing that I love, and I broke this down in the video as far as keeping your opponent honest. That's in today's YouTube video. As far as keeping your opponent honest when you set up this defense, and I didn't actually flinch my guy, so don't do that. You got to make sure that you want to keep him right there. When you set this up, pay attention to the pointing animation because every once in a while, it is really smart to do this. So they go into their Texas, they set up their route combination, yada, yada. It's a 3-route combo. They're set up, right? And what they do is they slide protect, they slap their double team. Oh, sorry, let me go ahead and I was on the defensive controller here. Forgot, sorry, my fault. So they go to slap their double team here, and then they go to ID the mic. This is where the quarterback points. You'll see him straight up point to the right side of the field. Once you see that, you know the rollout's coming. You have a choice. You can either muddy up the release of Thielen and then peel to the corner and undercut the corner, or you can haul your ass around the cut block knowing that they're inviting Clay Matthews free and take the user sack. Now, I can't roll out here, but I want you guys to kind of envision what I'm talking about. Ball snapped. Here I come. Oh, I accidentally ran commit. I apologize. Let me go ahead and throw that ball away. Sorry about that. It's because I was using the wrong controller at first. All right, so let me go ahead and audible into, get our coverage set up. So here you go. Here's your setup. Now they go into Texas or whatever. They're setting up their route combo. Slap the double team. All right, so they're set up. You've seen them point. Now, all of a sudden, imagine that Lamar Jackson is getting predetermined rollout. You've seen them point to the right. You know they're going to cut block Clay Matthews. Use the element of surprise. That ball snapped. Get your ass out there and go and cut and take away that rollout corner because they're telling you right away, I want to go out there. So let me go ahead and pull up the replay menu. Again, keep in mind that I can't control the offensive controller. They're inviting Clay Matthews in off the edge. They're going to cut block him. At this point, they are thinking to themselves, because Clay Matthews is coming in, I can roll out. So they're immediately going to be out here. This guy right here, 43, is not going to be able to pick you up. And if nothing else, what you're going to do is kind of contain them with your user, make them stay in the pocket. You can kind of play the bluff game. What do I mean by the bluff game? So if we were to go ahead and do the same thing with our coverage. So we're set up. Excuse me. You see them go to their cut block. You watch, you're waiting for the quarterback. You know, they do their double team, no animation. They point at Clay Matthews. Now Lamar Jackson's pointed. You can kind of play this game where when that ball snapped, you get out wide and then kind of fake like you're going to blitz them to keep them in the pocket and then peel back. So it might look something like this. Now, again, factor in that I'm not controlling the offensive player. Just kind of factor in that any other player, tendency-wise, is immediately hauling their ass to the right side, to that rollout side. You do something like this. Down and then back up and go back and get that corner out. And then you can go ahead and peel back and take away the trail route. It's only a 3-route combo. Super easy. That's just Texas. That's one half of their passing game. That's just Texas. Now let's talk about the rest. The rest is very, very easy as well. You know, these people love to run post drag with basically some sort of route combination that looks kind of like this. They'll do, you know, maybe like a hitch and a skinny post. Maybe sometimes they'll do a corner route in a skinny post. So they've got to roll out to the right. They've got to roll out to the left. But again, you're going to key in on the pointing animation. So here's what I do. We're setting up that same base formula. Baseline press, move this guy down to stop the fullback dive, stand right here to stop the fullback dive, cross man on X, and spy. Now, if they run a corner route to the tight end, we know that the cross-manned defensive end is not going to be able to play him man-to-man. What we are hoping is that the baseline pressed outside third, like the one Ramsey played that picks off the corner route in Texas, will do the same for the tight end. Now, that's not always the case. It's not always the case because sometimes he'll drift off and just not play it very well. This is tough. Now, the thing that's great about this is the fact that, again, the visual cues will tell you if they're throwing a tight end corner route or not, because they're going to slap their double team, and then when they go to ID the mic, Lamar Jackson is going to point to the left. So now he points to the left, and that's telling you right away, okay, I know exactly what they're doing. I know literally exactly what they're doing. They're going to try to run a cover 3 beater like this, or like this, rolling out, like this, rolling out to the left, using Kittle to pull down the third and hopefully bomb the skinny post. So you go ahead and do that. You know, once they do that, you get over there with your user. So that ball snapped. Now imagine a rollout to the left. Again, I can't do it. Ball snapped. You're out here on this route. You can take that away on that play. Now, again, Weddle's really slow. Don't worry about Weddle so much. But you're going to use the visual cue to help tell you what they're doing. You could do the same thing on this. Now, this one's great because if they're rolling out to the left, this fullback over here, 43, cannot help out on the loop. So if we go back to that same tip where we do this setup, something like this, and we see them go to post drag and they decide to put the tight end on a corner and they go to their setup, you know, they slide their line, no animation. They double team, no animation. Now when they ID the mic on the edge, all of a sudden Lamar Jackson points to the left. You know, oh, hey, let me go ahead and when this ball snapped, I'm following and I'm coming in free off that edge and taking away that roll outside. you will be just fine. I promise you, you will be just fine. If you guys can stop full back dive, you can stop the rollout to the right with the visual cues, and you can stop this rollout to the left with the visual cues, you will not struggle with near close flex anymore. Now, guys, please do not view this video as just near close flex. People do the same exact stuff out of bunch. They do the same exact stuff out of tight offset, tight end. They will point left, they will point right, and they will tell you which side they want to roll out to. It is on you guys there. I've given you the coverage here in the sub tip. I've put the visual cues video on YouTube for free. Combine the two and stop worrying about rollout based compression offenses. They are not that hard to stop if you pay attention to which side the quarterback is pointing to. I've been doing this for a month. I've been literally watching quarterbacks point for a month, and everybody in the chat's just kind of like, no, Zan bags this every time, but I struggle with it. Well, I was trying to think, what am I doing that I haven't taught? Because I'm giving them, I'm giving them the setups, I'm giving them the coverage that stops it, and still they're struggling. And I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe they just are not sure what side they're playing too long in the middle of the field because they don't know which side the rollout side is. And that's what kind of led me to do today's video. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. If it was, be sure to let me know. If you guys have any questions, comments, drop those below as well. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. Again, I can't say it enough. We were at like 170 subs as of Leap Day. February the 29th, we had like 170. We're at 930 right now. I love you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to do what I do for a living. I hope this was helpful. Definitely hit me up if you have any questions. I'm more than down to help. What I want to avoid, though, please do not post them in the chat. Please do not whisper me while I am live asking me those questions. Please post your comments, critiques, criticisms here in the comment section. That's what it's for. I'll keep my eyes peeled and I'll be sure to get back to you guys. Thank you so much. Again, from the bottom of my heart, it's an insane time for a lot of people out there, and the support you guys have shown has been frigging insane. We're going to hit 1,000 subs before Madden 21 drops, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the chat.